welcome back. So, first quickly double checking audio. We have audio. Well, so hopefully it means that I'm being heard for a change. Because apparently that is not as reliable as I had thought. I'll try and be better. No guarantees. That is the wrong thing to copy. So, starting off, few minor things to note. Obviously, Renan is sitting in a different seat tonight. That is because Megan is writing an exam tomorrow, so she is currently studying. Megan, if you're watching, go study.
And not D&D.
So, yeah, Megan will unfortunately not be joining us tonight, but the show must go on, as Queen so eloquently stated. Yeah, I think that is the major change in terms of tonight. So, in terms of beer, our beloved friends over at Raymond's that still refuses to give us beer. Gerard, please, make a plan, eventually, soon, I hope. Yeah, so, Drayman's, their darkest selection this evening, the Johnny Monk. Hopefully I'll be jolly at the end of the evening. We'll see, it depends on 3 other people and their choices. And now I'm very worried.
Not for long. I'll make bad life decisions.
Well, I mean, you're sitting here, so.
Yep. Yeah. Question: is their beer as dark as my sense of humor?
I'm gonna go with no.
Damn.
And I'm saying this knowing their beer quite well and knowing you quite well. So, yes. If you want a dark sense of humor, Mike's your guy.
I got you.
Anyways, moving on swiftly to get to the live stream, which YouTube didn't work, and then we also realized that the camera didn't want to work. Yeah, I uninstalled and reinstalled the camera software, and apparently that did not fix the problem because I noticed that the camera froze even before we started the stream. So we'll be doing our due diligence to try and monitor that throughout the stream, but unfortunately there might be sessions where there is mainly audio. We're doing this on a very small budget, so oops.
We'll get there in time.
It's D&D. It's a game of the imagination. They must imagine what happens.
Yes, use your imagination. You have all been given one.
Welcome to our podcast.
We might actually look into that in the future once we get the mic sorted and we can actually hear everyone properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll look into that. A lot of things must happen before then. So, yeah, just a small mention for those of you who don't follow my print designs on social media. First of all, please do. It's kind of one of the more important reasons as to why we're live streaming D&D in the first place. So, if you're not following me there, please go do that. If you are, great. That means you're probably up to date. So there has been some interesting developments in the business, very conveniently due to some old business partners that I have since told to hit the road because, well, they weren't particularly good, and that's putting it very, very, very nicely. Short version, they fucked me over. Why is this light not on?
Yeah, that wasn't the business partners though.
think it's this one.
No, I think they're all in.
Oh, they are all in. I say with Samuel under the table.
They're all in.
But
There's
apparently
more than one.
Who knows what he has on today?
Well, you.
We're just under there. Moving on swiftly.
Yes,
So, back to what I was trying to say. So, old business partners kind of screwed me over a little bit. So, kicked them out. But unfortunately, due to their action, or more accurately, lack thereof, the business is going through some changes. So I should have some updates on the Brink Designs Instagram and Facebook in the next 2 days, as there are some updates regarding that I just haven't gotten around to posting yet. So I think that is it for the important parts. I hope I go slower through this beer tonight than I actually want to. But anyways, last we left off, the 8 of you, i.e. the 3 of you currently sitting here, along with Isla, Shadow and the 2 kobolds, found yourselves back on Adomawyr. Isla and Temujin specifically, and to some extent Shadow, was very intrigued with the variety of just simply vegetation available, and collected quite a bit of it, and they made their way over to a village called Scorch View, and discovered some of the world's lore, most specifically some of the history of Adomawyr itself while being there, and then made their way down to the harbour to await their ship, the Vengeance, and its captain, Thane. You all spent the evening aboard the Vengeance due to your long excursion in the Underdark and the necessity to wake up early and leave with sunrise. Thane suggested that you spend the evening on the ship rather than on shore, so that should you wish to do so, you can sleep a little bit in. So we are now at the following morning. If you have not yet done so, take a long rest.
Finally.
I did see Isla's HP is a little bit lower than it should be. So, no, wrong button. That's the one I'm looking for. Confirm, yes. So Isla, because you are studying, I quickly just added that to your character sheet. So, it's fairly early the following morning, and you wake up to the gentle splashing of water against the armored bow of the ship. Light gently creeps through the portholes on the ship, illuminating your various rooms. Will being given the captain's quarters, and the rest of you not enjoying such luxuries, but significantly better quarters than the rest of the crew. Here, several men above you pounding around ensuring the ship functions the way it is intended to, sailing back to Rivergate. Will, to a large extent, Grizz, from experience, you know that this journey is probably going to take 2 days. The day is yours. What would you like to do?
So I think Temujin would grab all his armor, his sword, his cleaning kits and everything, since he didn't have much time to go through his little rituals in the Underdark. He'll go find a nice quiet spot above deck, close to the prow, and sit down and start cleaning, maintaining, and going through his little trance-like ritual, just to get himself a little bit more accustomed and calm his senses on the ocean, which he's very unfamiliar with. He'll also be looking out towards the sea, not towards the deck.
We can roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
That is going to be 13.
You feel quite queasy.
So he won't. He'll do his best not to show it. He doesn't want to show weakness.
Roll deception for me.
Now we're getting in trouble.
Can someone roll for Isla and Shadow, please?
That
I'll do
is
for Isla,
going
you
to
do for
be 16.
Isla doesn't believe you.
Who rolled for you? You rolled for?
I long for shadow.
I rolled a 10. Oh wait, no, wait, I rolled a d10. Wait, d12. I rolled a 2.
Shadow.
Yeah.
Isla is 15. I don't know what her modifier.
Constitution savings +1.
Because
She's in 60. So, Temujin, you look around and you're fairly convinced no one noticed the fact that you look a little bit queasy until your eyes settle on Shadow. And you're not quite sure, but it doesn't last long. Isla, sorry. But it doesn't last long until you hear Shadow in the background retching. And Isla quickly turning around to help her
So
in whatever way she can.
Temujin will mentally block out every sound he can possibly, especially the retching, and just focus on the methodical work of properly cleaning his armor and weapons. That's how he'll try to master this beast.
So this is going to be an interesting one. Roll me a concentration check. So concentration is a con saving throw.
So that is going to be. That's not bad. That is going
Doesn't
to
mean it's good
be
either.
a modest 20.
You managed to concentrate on your polishing.
Important. Very important. So he'll spend as long as he can making sure everything is polished, everything is parade ready, and that's what he'll be doing for the day.
What I am currently thinking is that the next time you do forget your dice, I'm going to give you the last set you sold me.
Give them. Let's see if they hate me as much as they hate you.
Because my dice likes it, it seems.
You'll see, gentlemen, it is all within the wrist.
Context is everything.
You practice that wrist a lot. But
So,
Moving on.
Swiftly.
Temujin can be found on the ship's deck. I'm asking.
Yeah.
On the ship's deck.
Busy polishing his sword.
And armor.
I said what I said.
Yes. Amongst other things.
The rest of you, what are you up to?
Grizz wakes up at this point, a little bit late, seeing as the underdog was not fun for him. Got almost blown up 3 times. Thank you, Will. And also heads to the deck. And just stares, looking at shadow retching over the side. Well,
I never said shadows retching over the side.
or retching,
Yeah.
just retching.
Don't put words in your dungeon master's mouth. It might not end too well for you.
Retching.
She's feeding the Kraken boys.
I will be at the steering wheel thing. Is there a technical term that I'm forgetting now?
Yes.
At the helm.
But I can't remember either.
It's the helm.
So you'll be at the helm. Let's see if these babies work for me a bit better.
Anyway, I will be at the helm. Not at like busy steering, but I'll just stand there with my parchment pen, and I will be designing something. It's not a weapon, don't worry.
Why doesn't he believe you?
Calm down, Megan.
It's for when we're back at Rivergate.
Yo, that doesn't inspire confidence.
Do you want me to show you what it is?
That would be a good start to see whether or not.
I want this made.
I see 2 weapons.
No, it's not the weapon. It's the outfit.
Fair enough.
The weapons are the hand cannons,
May
which
I
I already
May
possess.
I see?
No.
You'll see when I wear it.
Mystery.
Yep, exactly. So I assume Thane is at the helm.
Yes.
So I'll just stand alongside him.
You do notice the mercenaries aboard the ship seem to be mainly ranged focus. Very few of them, well, all of them do carry melee type weapons,
Okay.
but it's fairly clear that these aren't their primary weapons.
Okay.
And the majority of them seem to be lining the sides of the ship at the upper decks. So that varies as there are several layers of decks, but it does. They seem to be guarding from open air.
So, as there were Temujin sitting close to the prow of the
Temujin is
ship.
polishing his sword.
Yes. But there where he's sitting close to the prow, would there be a couple of mercenaries close
Yes. So it does seem that the forces are concentrated more to the front rather than the back. So where you're sitting appears to have the most mercenaries available.
by? So as he's polishing, he'll just ask randomly, "We're expecting trouble, boys."
Well, how long has it been since you've been here?
You mean we're here on the ship, or
This is the only ship sailing currently. There's always trouble.
before yesterday? I've never seen a ship, so
Well, welcome to hell.
what type of trouble are we expecting then?
It's a very, very interesting question. The watery kind.
That says nothing. I don't know what's under there. Do they come from the sky? Is it something
No.
I can whack with the sword? Is it stabbable?
I don't know. You'll have to roll the dice on that one. Sometimes yes, other times no.
How the hell do we
It's
fight back against it when it's a no?
You use magic.
pray to the gods. Fire is always a good weapon against water, unless water gets into the fire. Sawmill, just get under the table, please.
Really?
Just unplug this one.
So,
Problems.
you're telling me that the best weapon we have on a wooden ship is fire?
Oh, wrong one. So it'll be the other one coming from this hole. I heard it as I said it.
I just played D&D.
Which one it is?
That light just went on.
Yes, I know.
Oh.
We should plug the other one back in.
Write it down.
Thank you. Well, for the most part, it's been water-based creatures. But oftentimes they do seem to be more resistant against the majority of our attacks. So yeah, there's a fucking shit show of fights when you're aboard this ship.
Well, lovely. Just lovely.
As the conversation finishes, you hear a dull thud in the front of the boat.
So Temujin will tense up a little bit.
Yeah, not nearly as much as the rest of the mercenaries.
Just like everyone.
It does seem as if the majority of the mercenaries ready their weapons and place their focus towards the origin of the sound.
So Temujin will strap his last piece of armor on and draw his sword. And look over the side to see if he can see anything.
Roll perception check for me.
Okay, let's see. Let's see how the other one does.
I'm gonna hate it if it rolls well for you.
So
Then no one can ever convince me that dice are neutral.
Didn't. 5.
Okay, no. That's fairly neutral.
Well, let's see what happens with the second one. We'll try again.
What number did you roll?
I rolled a 3.
Which is the exact first two rolls I had with the dice.
They're testing out first.
Let's see. Maybe this is truly a weighted dice. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, you sold it to me, so.
Fair.
You would know.
Mike, was that for a mini? Sorry. Imagine if we did that as a miniature.
No.
Well, I mean, let's forego the insane details. I'm just.
So as someone who paints
Theme.
miniatures, no, thank you.
Hold.
But that would be exactly what
The
Will
good luck
would be.
version of
But anyways,
Cool. Anyways.
you look down across the front of the ship and see nothing. Well, I mean, you obviously just see the side of the ship and the water moving beneath you, but
Nothing out of the way.
you don't see Well, I mean, it's very much out of the ordinary for you. But you're not seeing any creatures of any sort that you think you ought to be worried about.
Do I recognize the bump as something to be worried about?
Roll an insight check for me.
Or I could just ask Thane.
Or you can roll an insight check for me.
Listen to your fucking dead, bro.
That's 22.
Nope.
So I'm
Just a bump. The ship hit something.
Well, I mean, I would very obviously on the open waters be like, oh, we just hit something.
Yes, and that's what worries us.
What's my best bet here? Hand cannons or bad news?
That's up to you.
Or or as I call it now.
That's an interesting question. I don't know.
Well, you fight most things on the waters, most often. What's your call on best weapon to use?
Something that'll make a lot of damage to a monster, but not the ship.
So, no
I'm going
necronia.
to take care of my David.
Yes, my baby also.
So, no necronia.
Obviously. Right.
Stop throwing shits at me.
Yeah, that's Wall Street.
I eat it.
Yeetus deletus.
I will put away my parchment and draw one hand cannon. And just keep it drawn while
Just as the
observing.
guy was just holding up parchment drawing.
There's a bump. And then everyone's on shock.
I was drawing, so
Several minutes go by. Nothing seems to happen.
success.
Technician.
I fixed it!
If at first you
While
don't,
running again!
if at first you don't succeed, suck harder.
So you see, he's very good by his stuff.
So Temujin will kind of look around a little bit more, see what all the guards are doing, and he will.
And now?
The camera fucked out a while back.
Son of a...
No one saw that!
Goddamn cameras.
Technology, you bitch.
This is ever since the last update for the software, so
Maybe just revert them back to the previous version.
easier said than done.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
headache territory right there.
Unless you're good with coding, good luck.
Well, no, you're not coding, but you need to go scour the internet for someone who has archived the previous version.
Yeah.
And then you have to uninstall this one, install that one. Or side load, or if you have an Android, just install.
Yeah.
And then hope it's not a virus.
Do you believe it is the software, though, as I don't have any issues with it, stuff coming from the app, but it seems to be the software and not the app.
So Temujin will kind of look around, and with his experience with fighting men, will he be able to gauge how well these guys are trained?
Roll an insight check.
Now I really wonder if I want to roll this dice.
Yes, you do. You sold it. Stand behind your product, Mike.
Technically, I brought you the red set. You chose this one.
I'm still blaming you.
That is 19. So I rolled a 30. I just have a +6 on impact.
Still a 3. Ender. It varies quite a bit. Some of them are definitely ex-military, so they do have training as well as combat experience behind them. Others are adventurers until they took an arrow to the knee. So it varies, but for the most part it does seem as if they'll probably be able to stand their own.
So Temujin, his tail flicking very irritably, kind of. I'm assuming he would see Will up.
Not flicking still.
No, Will. Will doesn't flick Temujin's tail. Temujin's tail flicks itself. He would spot Will at the helm, and then he'll make his way over to Will and Thane. And as he gets there, he still has his sword drawn. He hasn't sheathed that yet. He'll just comment, Master Thane, is it? How many greenhorns do you have a deck?
Come again?
How many green bloods do you have on deck?
Well, laddie, had you asked me that a week ago, a hell of a lot more than today. All of them have seen fighting. All of them have seen fighting aboard this ship.
Due to losses or desertions? Why did you have greenhorns a week ago if this struggle was going on for so long? Are you losing men at a tremendous rate, or are they just quitting at a tremendous rate?
Because this isn't a very flashy job. You
So
take it if you have nothing else left to lose.
Lovely. And with that, Temujin's tail will stop flicking. He'll just simply kind of stand next to Will and just stare out ahead, looking around, being a little bit on edge.
I'm kind of imagining it like a cat's tail that twitches in agitation.
That's what it would have been, but now that he kind of set himself a goal, so now it'll just sway slightly from side to side. It's not.
So it's
twitching.
wagging.
He's wagging his tail.
Oh no, wait, you haven't let them do it yet.
Not yet. That'll be a shag.
Then he'll wag his tail. It takes a couple of minutes, but you start noticing the men ease up a little. The tension isn't fully gone, but then again, they were never fully at ease since you've reached the upper decks. But they seem to be continuing with whatever they were doing or thinking about before the thud.
Master Will, how long will we be on the ocean for?
I'd say 2 days for if we fare well. It's my past experience.
Master Thane, these attacks, do they happen any time of day, during the night, during morning, afternoons, when?
They happen at sea.
So all the time. So he'll start wrapping his fingers on one of the railings. Tails twitching a little bit again. Just staring at himself, just clearly thinking about something.
Trying to keep calm.
Don't know what yet.
I'll just like. Are you? Which way are you looking? Like forward as well.
Yeah, he's looking towards the prow, but he's more scanning the horizon than just looking straight at the wind in one direction.
Everything okay there? Tyrion? How was your first time on a boat?
It sucks.
Feeling a bit seasick.
No, feeling caged. Can't go anywhere, can't do anything, just waiting
There's a whole galley to explore.
and see what more cage. It's a big cage, I'll grant you that, but it's still a cage.
True.
I
We can always throw you overboard and you can swim along. Of course, I'm kidding.
Well, I do swim, it's called drowning.
That type of swimming.
Yes, have you ever swam before?
Unless you consider dune surfing swimming, no.
I do not.
No. I'll take you dune surfing though. I will show you freedom one day, perhaps.
Sounds
Roll
interesting.
me a history check quickly.
17.
You're not quite sure what he's talking about.
Can I assume what the implication may be?
Well, the term dune doesn't really resonate with you.
Okay. What is this? These dunes?
You've never been to a desert.
No.
So, imagine the sand we saw
On the beach.
on land, the beach.
Mhm.
Imagine mountains of sand stretching as far as your eye can see in every direction, just small mountains, big mountains, small hills, big hills. And then if you catch it just right on a good morning, you'll take your top, you'll put it on the top of a dune, and you will slide down. And as you slide down and your timing is right, the wind will catch you and push you forward, all the way up until the next dune, and the next, and the next. That's freedom. You can go where you want, how you want, where you want, when you want. You and the horse. I prefer a camel though. Much better beasts.
Well, then why leave your so-called freedom for such a... Well, obviously, this is a cage, and an island is a cage, if you think about it.
Amongst the tribes, I was never welcome. They never kicked me out because I made myself useful from a young age. I earned my keep, but I never earned their respect. I was always the first one to be thrown into battle, in the hopes that I'd take a lance to the throat or a sword to the hips. Get trampled, but
Well, good thing you're not there anymore.
So, the majority of warfare happened on horseback with bow and arrow.
take an arrow through the eye.
To the knee.
To a knee wouldn't be a problem. Usually be on camel or horse. So I left. I left to see if tieflings like myself are as mistrusted and hated in the rest of the world. And you can see he kinda hesitates a little bit, and found myself in the Underdark and trusted the wrong creature out of stupidity perhaps, and that's soon after you found me.
And what a joyous day it was.
Yeah.
Yes, you may bask in my glory.
So he'll give it like a deep throated little laugh.
What you might call this a cage, but honestly, I'd rather be on this thing than swim.
So he'll just kind of look at the waves a little bit, and honestly, I think I agree.
Yeah, we don't know what's in there.
The fear of the unknown.
No, the fear of the actual monsters in the ocean.
Yeah, but you don't know what is in the ocean.
I at this stage I'm just terrified of the water.
Don't worry, we'll reach land soon and then we'll show you what a city looks like.
You mentioned this before.
It's a small city, but city nonetheless.
I'm quite interested in the city. And this is where your guild is located, and Master Thane and these men, they are your employees.
No matter of speaking, I am the owner of the guild, but I do not employ them specifically. Jobs come to the guild, they apply for the jobs, and they take the jobs, and the client pays them. I don't pay them from my pockets, but I take a fee. I'm what you might call an opportunity maker of sorts. But yes, when I do call, they must come to my aid, or for whichever purpose is needed. As you can see with the ship, Thane, yes, he is under my employ, as is the ship mine, and yet the men on board are contracted to be here by Thane and not by the guild itself.
Around about this point, you hear a bell ringing aboard the ship, which Will and Grizz you recognize as dinner bell, i.e. food is being served. The other three of you have no idea what's going on.
So Temujin automatically brings his sword arm back, and he's ready. He's completely left the conversation in that instant, and he's once again scanning, looking for the closest threat.
What you see is just
I'll exclaim, "Ah, yes, the battle bell."
as
It's all
you,
deception. You have advantage because
Why
he
you
doesn't know what you're talking about.
while he's saying that, and you look out, you see just Chris like jump up in a resting position, like he's ready for something.
I rolled 2 17s, that makes it 2 19s.
So, as you exclaim this, you'll see Temujin kind of grab a hold of the railing, and parting his legs, he's in a ready stance. He's about to leap over onto the deck to rush to wherever he thinks he might be necessary.
So I will start walking past him, grab him by the collar, and say, "Joking, you moron! It's food. Come!" And I will start dragging him.
Chris is
along.
already making his way that way.
At the mention of food, if he didn't have fucking ears, his head would fall off. From the grin on his face, and he'll just see the sword, and then so bells means food.
Sometimes it depends on which bell. You do get a battle bell, though it's quite more serious and not as dingily sounding.
Dingily. Oh, that is the most manly thing I've heard tonight.
Just think, the dinner bell, dong, the battle bell.
Like one
To
of those
battle?
one of those little cat collars. The cat runs past. The battle is here, boys. So
like
he'll simply
What's that mean? Oh, mean onwards, noble steed.
onward, noble steed. Shenanigans and fuckery ahead. So he'll sheathe his sword and with a massive grin just follow Will.
And I shall lead him to the mess hall. Which
I'm already there. Went there.
So, I'm going to ask. Grub is being served, but I'm going to ask Temujin and the two drow to once again roll a Constitution saving throw.
Now do I like
Are we
it?
running for the kobolds as well, or they just?
No,
They
they've
have been on
got
the
the
show.
sea legs already.
Well, that's it. 20.
19 for her.
Which ones are you guys rolling?
Isla, Shadow.
Okay.
14.
You try and eat, but you're struggling to stomach what this is.
So Temujin will, if the moment he starts struggling, he'll just push his plate away.
Still finding your sea legs.
Grizz on the other side. Thank you, good sir.
Please do. I don't think it's much finding my sea legs as trying to realize what unholy ritual had to be performed to create whatever this is.
Ah, this is normal.
Now I understand why so many people quit.
Food!
You may take your shit dice.
So I'll just lean into Temujin. Would you like a spider leg?
A what?
A spider leg? Did you not eat them in the Underdark?
You would have had them at some point, but mainly before you met up with the Solemn.
It's probably better than this. Yeah, if you have.
So I'll reach into my bag of holding and in there break.
What Constitution saving throw?
He doesn't want that.
Not 20! So that'll be 26.
Mike, I will have words with your boss.
So I obviously have handed over a portion of spider leg.
You all look over as you hear as Temujin sitting there sucking the meat out from the hard exterior, and looking over, you see the tiefling with very shiny mouth and hands as the fats and juices from the spider leg covers his mouth and his hands, and he just looks over at you and grins.
Enjoying yourself.
Yes. This is better than that sacrilege.
How many people are on board?
A lot. Well, I haven't decided on a fixed number yet. So it is the primary crew, with probably around 100 mercenaries for protection.
How many cannons does the ship have? If I remember correctly.
It's been a while. I'm gonna have to go double check on my notes. And then beyond that, a lot of not really converted, but a lot of space has been used for goods.
Okay. Never mind then. I wanted to go to the cook and give him the rest of the spider leg so he may make a stew for for everyone on board.
It's
But
gonna be too many people.
it's like sharing one chicken breast among 20 people.
Yeah.
Even if you make it into a stew, that's like a tablespoon each.
Yeah.
And it will be the best tablespoon ever.
Flavor. I mean,
It'll be an interesting flavor, as most of them have not encountered that yet. But yeah, there are opportunities for peoples to encounter flavors that they have not yet encountered.
So at this point, Temujin will sit back, put the empty carapace of the spider leg down, and Master, well, you're a businessman.
of sorts.
Money.
I try to be.
Is there no way we can get the spiders from down there up here and farm them? Herd them.
You pose an interesting question.
Because from them we could get the silks, we could get the meats, and we can get the venoms.
Oh, we
You
should-
guys fucking around with spiders? What's wrong with you?
giant spiders.
Even worse!
So
I don't even like the small one.
this is part of the leg. They are delicious.
So the young human mercenary that spoke up shrinks back in horror when he sees essentially a tube about 100 millimeters in diameter. So, fairly long. It's like that's its leg.
So
Oh, lad! And I reach in and I pull out the fang that I pulled from one of them. And this is its fang. And I assume it's about...
Yeah, so this is the fang, the
Mandible.
mandibles. That's the word I'm looking for. Thanks. I mean, it's fairly long. I mean, it's gonna do some damage if it bites into you. It's
It won't, because it'll just go through you. The poison won't affect you at all.
so Temujin will take this leg and rummage around in it and see if he can get a couple of scraps, and then scratch that out and walk over to the lad. Have a taste.
Grizz is like, go ahead, it's good.
I'm curious. Should I be trying this dice now or not?
Try them. Let's see what happens.
He throws up.
On Temujin or not?
No, on the spider leg meat.
Temujin looks at him, super disgusted. What a waste of
Yeah, Grizz is also just like, what a waste. Kobolds, you want some?
Yeah, they clamber all over it. I have a dice dungeon for a reason. They will all go and suffer. Suffer!
Microwave them. Microwave. Very
Micros and waves.
So at seeing this debacle, Temujin would very angrily, like, kind of go plump himself down, super pissed off, like, you just wasted good meat that I had gifted you, you bastard. But he wouldn't say anything, he just sits down and
So he's
licks the rest of the
So
juices.
to an extent, I'm envisioning it as spider legs as similar to bone marrow.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It's the soft, sweet. There's not really muscle.
No.
So it's soft and sweet
Yeah.
and juicy.
So Temujin will
All the
simply-
vegans are pissed off.
Very much. Temujin will sit and lick off his fingers and get the last little pieces he can out, and then he'll very diligently start cleaning himself off, almost like a cat, you know.
Licks the tail, cleans the hands.
Tell me, do you have squinted eyes?
No. What I'm more worried about is the moment the cat starts cleaning his nether regions.
He's not that flexible. He's muscly as fuck. So not exactly like a cat, but he does have slitted eyes.
After a while, you see one leg of Temujin.
This is why you wish you could be me. No, he doesn't do that.
The rest of the day goes about mostly uneventful. There's the odd scare here and there, in terms of another bump or a knock, a slight sway of the ship that makes most of the men look a little uncomfortable. But for the most part, the day passes without incident. And so night comes. This time around, all of you are presented with a plate of fried fish.
Fish.
Damager, never having had fish, will simply sit and look at his plate at first, like. And then just kind of poke at it with a finger.
The human mercenary that you gave the spider leg meat to, he's devouring this fish. He loves this.
Got any soy sauce?
No, but there is a lemon slice on each plate.
Oh!
Fancy on the ship.
Fanciness!
Oh, it's mainly to prevent
Scurvy.
scurvy.
I mean, it is only a 2-day trip instead of a 5-6 months one, so.
Well, you don't know how long a lot of these people have been on the ship.
Oh no, I meant like they can have fresh fruit
Yes.
on it. that's what I meant.
No, that is definitely the case.
So, Temujin will pick up the lemon and bite into that.
I wouldn't do that. Never mind.
You almost immediately spit it out.
So he will violently. And then.
This is a taste you've never experienced before.
What is this unholy abomination?
I mean, coming from a desert continent,
Citrus
fruit
doesn't exist. And
Moving on to the Underdark, citrus doesn't exist. So this is a very, very new flavor for you as well as the two drow.
so his face will contort in the most horrible ways.
I just thought this was incredible.
Please do share.
No, I'll tell you guys off the screen.
Con-
There is a limit, guys. There's a limit.
his face will contort in the most horrible of ways. And then when he finally recovers, he'll go, what is that?
It's a lemon.
You would know better.
Oh, what?
Lemon. You're not supposed to eat it like that.
Who is it used for?
Mostly preservative
And-
or
and
giving flavor. And he just like over his fish.
And at this stage, you can see him like he's kind of with his little sharp little teeth trying to clean his tongue, you know.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Just eat the fish.
You're gonna need something maybe like salt.
Yes, the fish. Eat the fish.
And he'll take a small piece.
And then chew it thoroughly. I've heard it contains small bones.
If you feel something go, that's a bone.
Oh, okay. And he'll take a small bite of the fish.
You're surprised with the combination of flavors. The little bit of lemon that's still left within your mouth, mixed with the saltiness of the fried fish, is actually quite tasty.
And he'll dig in.
There's no chips though.
Damn it.
I shall slide my plate over to him as I get up, and I assume the mess hall is like second or third deck. So I shall make my way to the surface.
So
Okay.
Temujin will devour both pieces of fish first, like using his claws to kind of dig the little fish bones out and then sit and devour it. And
Wow.
then once again clean himself, and then he will follow try to make his way up to the top deck again.
Following you at this point as well.
You coming is I'm just going to say eyeline shadow with you guys. So I'm going to say for the three of you, that's still first on the ship, another Constitution saving throw with disadvantage, as the stars being reflected on the water means there's no horizon line in the dark.
Oh, special awareness.
Okay, so we should roll.
Disadvantage. Because there's no reference for you as what is up and down.
Okay, and then
4.
Shadow or eyeliner?
Shadow.
She has 10. She has 9 plus the 1.
and then what is it that we had to roll?
Con saving
I
throw.
don't know what Shadow's
Disadvantage.
modifier is.
So that is going to be 19.
One.
No. I rolled a 13, but I have a +6 on con, so con saves. So that helps.
Good to be a fighter.
Yeah.
Let me check quickly what Shadow's modifier is. I did send the stats to Megan. You should probably search Megan. And not stats. Con +1.
So 5.
So
The shadow's out of her element.
Shadow clearly isn't enjoying this. She does appreciate the dark, but she's not enjoying the journey. And at this point, you're just seeing ass and legs as she's leaning over the side, emptying her stomach into the ocean beneath.
So she's on deck now.
She's on deck with the rest of you,
Yeah.
leaning over the side.
Oh, is everyone
Throwing
on deck now?
Yeah, we all went up, and when
Oh.
they saw there was no reference for horizon,
Yeah.
meaning for up and down, they got
Okay.
confusion.
I am going to climb up to the crow's nest.
I'm just checking that she doesn't fall over.
See, so you're holding on to her backside.
Isla is holding onto her backside. It's just
No, I was also
Yeah.
not probably in a good state.
No, that's fairly. You roll there?
Danger. 9.
No, Isla's not feeling too great. I mean, she's not completely leaning over the side. She's not feeling too great. So yes, Grizz is holding on to Shadow at this point.
Just making sure she doesn't fall off because.
Climbing up to the crow's nest, looking around, you do notice some non-story lights, which you're able to decipher as some of the various towns on the different islands, as well as looking almost directly ahead of you, you see what you presume to be the lighthouse that's just north of Rivergate, whose name I completely forgot now. Yes, I'm a terrible dungeon master. I don't remember everything of my own world.
How dare you? How dare you?
Candles.
King's Light, if I remember correctly. And behind you to the southwest, you notice another lighthouse.
I will sit up there, or will stand in the crow's nest, and I will attempt to commune with the docent.
Okay?
That was me. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Does my moves work?
You must first put in the pin. Beep beep.
King's Cry Light is the one north of Rivergate.
Okay.
So as he communes with the docent, Temujin will stand. Attempts to. Temujin will be standing at the bow of the ship and slowly kind of singing a hymn in his native tongue, softly, but it kind of drifts over the deck of the ship. Not quite. Not quite. He's probably praying, yes, but no.
I'm just gonna say nothing. I feel that's a safe option.
Probably.
To me.
Yeah, well, and I need to kind of figure out what you're trying to do.
Well, it's essentially, well, it's just like I remember of your kind and how I heard stories of you speaking and communing to your host. And why is it that you have found it wise to be quiet towards me? I have never been imbued with your power before, but I wish to learn. And seeing in something of you had sparked memories long forgotten in me, and I wish to unveil your power.
It's quiet for a few moments. Doesn't seem to be any direct communication back. But just at the point we were thinking of getting up, it's more a sensation than something that's really audible. You feel it tells you, I was lost, and we're compatible. You seem to be an escape. In terms of the memories, they've always been there. You just forgot.
Sorry, what did it say? What did it say? It was lost. So, well, we'll kind of reply just saying, you were lost. In what sense?
It's almost as if you're being physically knocked back. And you're thrown against the mast. And you fall down into seated location. Or seated posture.
Position.
Position, that one. Je bedoelt het verstaan. And you're flooded with a vision. A vision not uncommon to you, but you don't recognize this one. You see the portals open. The ships entering. As you, from your vantage point, and you assume this to be the previous host's vantage point. Standing aboard a ship, going through the portal, entering into the Underdark. War. You're not sure who's fighting who, but your kind is intervening. At some point, you notice the vision arcs back and upwards, and lies still. The battle's still raging on around you until it is quiet. A familiar face, not one you recognize as someone you know, but a warforged, pops up over you, looking down, and suddenly you find yourself moving until you realize you're bouncing away. The vision turns back, and you see other warforged dragging the previous host back to one of their vessels. The vision continues to bounce away, then jumps to another view, somewhat obscured, not quite sure by what, but half your vision seems to be gone, as if something is blocking it directly where the vision originates from. And you're flying through the air, landing very closely amongst other treasures. And as you turn to look, the last thing you see is a big gleaming eye before it goes dark. And you come back, and you notice you're still in the ship, gently swaying on the ripples and the waves, the breeze tugging at your cloak. Could you roll me an insight check? You have no recollection of this war whatsoever, except for the vision you just witnessed.
How long ago was this war?
You sense it tell you it's unsure.
Ancient in time or somewhat lost 1,000 years?
It guesses somewhere in the last 2,000 to 3,000 years.
When I was unfit for duties.
At this stage, Temujin will start singing an elvish lament.
Damn, I thought you were actually going to start singing.
I don't know elvish, Temujin does.
DM. You have to make the call on what one other language that Ozan knows at some point.
Didn't I say that last time?
Oh, did you?
I think I did.
I think he said it was Elvish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which means you'll be recognizing whatever Temujin is currently singing.
Yeah.
So, Temujin, what are you singing?
Yeah, come on.
So,
It's seeming like we all can speak Elvish.
My mother told me.
no, his mother wouldn't know shit.
I
So,
like big butts.
I like big butts again. No. So he's
Well, then
singing.
you're at the wrong place in the ship. Shadows hanging over there. You walk a few steps back.
So he'll be singing an elvish, almost an elvish poem, that tells the story of a trader who got lost and ended up in a desert. And kind of recollecting in verse form his story as he travelled through the deserts and created an empire of trade.
So you're rapping.
No,
It's rhythm and poetry, so you technically.
you can get different versions of that. But it's kind of sung in a homesick lullaby.
How well do I hear it from up in the crow's nest?
How loudly are you singing?
He's not screaming it out. He's more just singing. No. He's not throwing a death concert. I'd say in the same range volume as normal speaking. It's kind of directed more for himself than it is for anyone else.
Okay. There's a high chance I can't hear it. Actually.
Fair enough.
Depends on your wind and stuff.
So what are you guys doing? It's evening, sun has set. What is strange is the lack of lanterns on the ship. Beyond that, seems to be a regular evening.
I mean, it makes sense that they don't want to draw attention to themselves through light.
For you, but not necessarily for all of you.
Yeah, okay, so I'm just up there checking things out.
Shadow, are you alright?
Fuck no!
Yeah, fine.
What's also strange is oftentimes a ship would stop moving during the night. As in, not lay anchor, wait until first light of the following day in order to see. This does not seem to be the case. Not all of the sails have been pulled up.
Okay. There's just no wind.
No, there's wind. Ship is moving. The ship is sailing. You notice a different group of creatures manning the ship.
Creatures.
Well, more accurately, races.
Okay.
So it's not nothing sinister, but it's not the same group as during day hours.
Day hours are more human and
More
such.
human, orcish,
The day folk.
the kind that generally are incapable of seeing at night. The night crew consists mostly of elves, dwarves, the odd tiefling. They man the ship, keeping it steady.
Okay. Sorry. So, guess what I need to drink. Yes, please. Temujin will make his way around and start speaking to the tiefling crew, kind of introducing himself, talking to them a bit, hearing about what they're doing, and kind of fishing around about information about